Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around. My name is Tyler,
I am Steve.
and today we are so pumped for this episode. We have Sonia Benito on the show. We actually had Sonia on our 24-hour episode with the anticipation that she was going to be on her own episode, and we had such a good time. We've really been looking forward to this episode for a while now. This is going to be a fun one for anyone who doesn't know Sonia. She's an amazing magician and dancer based out of the UK. She's done some phenomenal commercial work as a dancer and magician for a lot of big brands, which we're really excited to talk to her a little bit about how she's gotten into that today. But she's just an awesome all-around person also. So it's going to be a fun time for sure.
I'm pretty excited to, actually be able to talk to her more than an hour.
Yeah, no,
we were kind of
without a
limited
doubt.
first time, so it's going to be good to dive in deeper to who is Sonia.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be a blast. We are so excited. But before we jump into it, guys, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss what we have coming up in the future. So click that button and click that bell. And let's take a quick word from our sponsor here.
I can't wait to see those shimmers, man. I can't wait.
And make sure everybody to follow Marvelous Decks on Instagram for exciting reveals and giveaways this weekend. So you want to make sure to head over to Marvelous Decks and follow them on Instagram.
Exciting. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you. Thank you.
Mark, thank you. We appreciate the support, man. Always. Thank you. So we ready? You ready, Steve?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right. Everyone out there ready? I hope you're all excited. This is going to be an epic episode. We are so excited. So without further ado, everybody, let me find this button here. Here is Sonia.
What up, Sonia?
How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. We're
late in here. That's fine.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's funny because Steve and I had a discussion a couple weeks back, and we're like, man, maybe we make the show earlier, maybe we move it, and we're like, you know what? We love this spot. It's such a fun time because we get people at, I think, their best. Sometimes conversation goes late, people get tired, and some of the discussion that comes up would never happen if it was like Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Tyler, we always get people at their best. What are you thinking?
I mean, we do, but sometimes I feel like the topics that come up are a little unique. But how are you doing, Sonia? How have you been during this whole pandemic?
Oh my God. It's been interesting because we are in second lockdown here in London. Second, sorry. Hannah's like, what are you saying? Second or three? Three lockdowns. I mean, crazy. I don't know. There's like
have Hannah on one time.
Huh?
So we have to have Hannah on one time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You want to come in and say hello? She's like, hey, no. The dog is around, so I can show you in a minute.
There you go.
Like, hanging around. So it's like, hey.
I'm surprised he's not sleeping yet.
No, not yet. He sleeps at midnight.
He is literally so cute. I saw the picture you posted the other day of him in like your little bag, and he looked adorable. Absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
Spade, yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go.
We got a good crowd coming in here. There you go. Spade says doggos are life. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But
and 13 weeks today.
Which is that so he's really like super young, which is awesome. And I'm surprised, we had our test call the other day and he was out like a light. I was actually shocked at how well he was sleeping considering how young he is. Like I feel like
dude, they sleep like crazy little puppies. Are you kidding me? When they're up though, they're biting your knees. I mean your ankles. But when they're not, they're out for hours and hours. That's for sure.
I'm glad to hear that is normal because we thought that he was possessed.
Yeah, unless you have a Dalmatian. If you have a Dalmatian, that doesn't ring true. But if you have most normal dog, then it's pretty much sleeping most of the day.
Yeah, he sleeps a lot, so that's quite handy.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he's not, he goes gremlin mode. That is sorry, they're just getting me a drink. I don't know if you hear it. So I'm like, it's like in the 24 hours life,
Yeah.
Listen, it's nighttime here. Doesn't matter. Now in lockdown is everyday weekend.
There you go. We're all living inside now, so you might as well enjoy it, have a drink, relax, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't drink, so I have some vitamin water and I have regular water. That's my drink.
Oh, there you go. Okay, it seems like I'm alcoholic here because every time I'm talking to you guys, I'm drinking, but it's not.
That's
I don't
perfectly
drink.
fine. We don't judge
I
here.
only
We do
drink
not
once,
judge.
okay?
You're perfectly fine. We definitely don't judge. I would be drinking to join you, but I literally just got off work and I have nothing but water next to me.
I mean, the timing there is 6 p.m., right?
Yeah, it just turned. Yeah, it's a little after 6 p.m. So
It's 3 o'clock for me.
yeah, it's a little early for
Oh
Steve
my.
still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I will call it vermouth for you, Steve, which is
Right.
like 3 p.m. That's what we have in Spain.
There you
Perfect. You can have a drink for me. How's that?
There you go.
So things have been good though for you. I know last time we had you on, you guys were I think just starting the lockdown, right? It's been about a
Oh,
month,
no,
a little over. Or was that the second lockdown still?
that's
Yeah. So okay, so second lockdown out of it, now back into the third here. But since then, because I don't think you had the puppy when you were on last time, but I think
No.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so things have changed. It's not just you in a different room this time. It's you in a different room with a puppy and hopefully new exciting things going on. How's the new year been treating you so far?
The new year, I mean, it's fine. I think we just got used to of this kind of life. I mean, for me now, it's enough. I'm like, can we just come back to normal freaking life? Because I'm tired now. I bet you guys the same thing. But
Absolutely.
I mean, since December, the thing is, for example, for me, since November, I had a lot of anxiety just because of lockdown. It's been many scams. Scams, you call it? Scams, yeah, because of like dogs. Like the demand of dogs because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
So we were so worried that the breeder that we were talking to, it was a scam. So we were doing all this investigation on her and everything, which
That's fine.
everything was fine.
Nice.
Thankfully, and she was very nice always.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a really good breeder, but you always have to make sure anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just having so much anxiety. Also, the lockdown was not helping. And I guess you guys know that I teach spinning as well. So it keeps me in shape. And also, like, I'm a full-time magician, but I do like to have my own stuff, you know, to disconnect and things like that. So the fact of not being teaching and just being at home the whole time, I'm like, it was very frustrating, anxiety. So once we got the dog,
You're busy. You're very busy.
I'm like, yeah, trust me, like, because we've been watching so many like training videos for the dog. We are on it because we want to make sure that he's comfortable and anywhere, because we want to take him anytime, like anywhere we walk, like we go.
Yeah.
Because we don't have such a routine, so that's why. But I mean, it's going very well. He is super clever, so that helps.
Nice.
No, that's definitely good.
You went from spinning classes to picking up pee and poop, huh?
Well, no, yeah, because he's pooping here, so it's fine.
There you go.
There you go.
So and even you mentioned on the magic side of it, how has that been for you? Have you kind of transitioned into the whole like fad of Zoom magic or anything like that, or have you really been taking this time to work on other things for yourself?
So yeah, for example, at the beginning of lockdown, I was on it. I was like, oh my God, I've got all these ideas that I couldn't make them before, and now I made them. So
Nice.
in March, so like for example, from March to August, like I increased some followers on Instagram just because I was posting all the projects that I wanted to record, and all of a sudden I had all this time in the world. So I was like, oh yeah, perfect. So it worked really well when the people were like, oh, I want to go out. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I can create all the content. But then that's when they released the lockdown and they said, like, go out, eat everything, 50% discount, go, have fun. So
we don't have that here. We don't have eat out for 50% off.
You know, I wish that would be delicious.
Oh my God, so we were out all the time, of course.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, let's eat. But then when I don't remember if it was in September, October, or when. So it was no. I mean, I don't know. Now I forgot. But anyway, we kind of went into like a tier 2, tier 3 system thing. Okay. So on the tier 2, we are still teaching, like the studios, group exercise studios thing. They still open, but on the tier 3, everything closes apart from shops, which I was pissed. So I was like, oh, you can't exercise, but you can go to the shop and buy I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what is like considered important nowadays. You know, like around this area, gun shops are open.
Yeah.
Even
Oh my God.
during like the most extreme time of the pandemic, that was considered a necessity. Was gun shops, and I'm like, I can't go to jujitsu class, but I can like go buy a gun. It's like, come on,
Oh my God.
one of them is
Sorry,
way
that's
more
crazy.
important
That's
to our health.
America for me.
Crazy.
That's kind of what it was getting me upset, because I'm like, you can literally buy online and deliver. You know what I mean? Like, there is nothing. You don't have to go out to shop,
Right.
like at the moment. But for example, for health, mental health and things like that, it's important. And now that it's cold outside, no one wants to go outside to work out. So we all getting fat here in the house.
Yeah, I know that
No.
feeling. That nice COVID-20. I've been holding on to that. I can't wait for well, I mean, I guess I can wait, but I think I've used that excuse long enough.
See, and I've just moved on to the realization that I like sweet food, and I'm just going to keep eating it because why not? I'm living my best life.
Pizza and
welcome to the
burritos are
club.
not sweet, buddy.
I mean, I ate a peanut butter and jelly and some brownies for lunch. So
Tyler
I
is a
mean,
boss
I
when it
have
comes
ice cream every day.
yeah,
Right.
see, exactly. Like you got to live your best life in the pandemic because you never know what's going to happen, and why not?
Listen, the comeback is gonna be hard then.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I have to train myself not to want sugar as much, but I'll get there eventually. I'm content with my situation right now, so I think that's the key, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
whatever content means.
Oh,
what I was saying. Oh yeah. Anyway, like the beginning of the lockdown, it was very good. And then when I said like about November and things like that, anxiety was coming just because of the dog situation, and also I think it's just because of the whole situation that's been like, now you work, now you don't work, now you work, now you don't work. So it's like no stability at all. And I don't know, I was getting a bit frustrated as well with like social media in general, you know, seeing other people enjoying their life, and we got stuck here. And I was like, to be honest, I don't feel very motivated to create content just because of it. Because for me, well, like I realized, I think in this time that I'm like, I do enjoy create content or videos, but in the like whilst I'm doing something else, because it's, I don't know, for me it motivates me more, because otherwise it's like you are a machine of creative, you know.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
it needs to come natural. So I cannot give myself a little bit of like disconnection from November until now. Until the week before, like last week, that I'm like, okay, Sonia, I think now it's time you relax. You got your dog. You can do your shit. Go.
So speaking, just so everybody knows, what's the dog's name?
Also.
Oso. What does Oso mean? Can you? What does it mean?
Yeah, bear, and like
bear.
bear.
Oh,
like bear. Okay, nice.
Now, Kat is a little upset that she didn't get to see the dog. So, she's in the chat and she wants to see the dog.
Oh man, I'll be like,
you don't have to show her now. We can show her before the show's over. But
I'm sure he'll make another appearance. We're only 13 minutes in. We got a while, so I'm sure he'll come see what you're up to. Hey, honestly, that was such a great episode too. I messaged her earlier. I was like, it was such a blast having you on. Like, can't wait to have her back on. And like, she was super pumped for this episode also. So it's always great to see past guests come in to support current guests, and we appreciate, you know, everyone coming in to check out the show. It's gonna be. I mean, we're not even started yet. It's only 13 minutes in. This is gonna be a good one. So,
and everybody, thank you for coming. We'll see you next week.
Oh my God. So, you know, you mentioned that you kind of went through a little bit of a slump with the creativity. Do you think that was just because of everything going on around you, or has this, you know, is this something that's happened in the past? Being a creative person, obviously being so involved in dance and magic for so long, do you find that sometimes creating just gets tiring?
It does. Because I believe it just comes from motivation, right? And from inspiration. And like every single artist, inspiration doesn't come by pushing it. It comes when you relax and when you kind of more enjoying life. So if you're locked down and you can't enjoy life, how are you gonna inspire yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of makes sense, because, for example, as a dancer, sometimes I think it kind of helps maybe to be more motivated. Just because you go classes, you can go and train yourself, you can train with other people, so you feed each other. So like, I don't know, like if you're stuck as you want to choreograph something and you meet up with others just to jump, just to dance, you might be like, oh my God, I love that move. And you kind of put into your body as well. You feed each other's with the dance. In magic, how do you feed each other?
Yeah.
You go on Instagram and you watch others, but it becomes of a copy thing, which I hate. I hate copying. So I'm like, if I like someone else's idea, either I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because it's someone else's, obviously. Or either I'm like, ooh, I can do this, but in a different way, making it my own self. You know what I mean? So that's kind of when you start creating as well. Because I believe, like, I was listening to Mario Lopez interview. You know Mario Lopez, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Stu, by the way, for the support, man. Thanks, Stu.
Thank you, Stu.
Yes.
You're awesome, Stu. That's funny. Mario Lopez is like
Mario Lopez comes up a lot in our chats,
really
actually.
And it's kind of funny because a good friend of mine actually lives with Mario Lopez.
Sick.
Yeah, kind of funny.
You need to present it to me.
Yeah, he's his jiu-jitsu instructor.
Oh, okay. Sick. He was basically saying that for example, I mean, I hope I'm not wrong, and I'm saying it how he was saying it. It's basically like there is no, that he doesn't like to say like to be original. I think that he prefers to say unique because it's very difficult to be original at the moment. Like not at the moment, like you can't. It's very difficult to create something completely new. I believe you develop one idea to another, and that's how kind of is new, right? So I'm like, since I listened, I was like, ooh, that's very true. Like you're putting too much pressure to yourself by being original when what he said is like unique. You are the only person in the world, so you're already unique. You're already special. You're already original. So I'm like, yes, Mario, thank you. So that kind of really motivated me. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I'm putting so much pressure to myself to be constantly doing new things and doing like something that no one else has have done before, which is very difficult. But I'm like, but wait a minute, if I do it on my own way, it's already new. There you go. The conversation in there.
That's 100% true.
Definitely a lot of wisdom. It's funny because I'm kind of, I feel a little stupid right now because Spade said that it's Mario Lopez the magician, not Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell. and I thought you were talking about Mario Lopez because, I mean, that's Mario Lopez. Everybody else is an imposter.
No. Well, yeah, I think you need to preface it like Mario Lopez, magician.
Right.
Versus like,
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, you're good. I just should have asked Mario Lopez, the actor, and then
my bad. I didn't know that.
Well, no, and I think it's a great point you mentioned too, because there really is unique is the best way to look at it. And I think, a lot of times when you're creating, and we see this a ton in the magic community, people create based off of other methods and principles and add their own spin to it, which makes it unique. And also there's a lot of crediting to past magicians to say, this is, take a look at X, Y, and Z. This is where I got the idea for this. And I think that's something that doesn't always happen a lot in other creative outlets. So you look at like movies and television, 99% of movies and television are literally remakes or reimaginings of stories and books and previous movies and everything we've always seen already. But very rarely, or sometimes maybe in very small writing at the end of it, will you see, based on XYZ, that credit really isn't there in a visible way. And I think that's one of the great things about magic is credit is inherently built in, or at least in most situations, inherently built in to the way magicians create and treat creativity.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of magicians who think it's their idea. We actually talked about this last week. I think it was last week. We were talking about, people doing something, and then another person bringing it to that person and being like, yeah, no, you didn't create that. That was created by so-and-so. Or, and I think, actually it might've been talking to someone else, not on the show. But I think what it comes down to is music, magic, everything comes from something, it's built on another concept, and I think the sooner we all realize that, the better, right? Is just pay ode to the people who created things and that we built off of. Because I mean, from here on out, there's going to be new things created, but they're definitely created from the basics. Everything's always built off the basics anyway.
Of course, it's just kind of a little bit the entitlement to be like, "Ooh, I create that." I mean, like, that's cool, of course, and some two people might have the same idea, and you're like, "Fuck, someone just got the same idea as me." Yeah. But well, it's like, obviously, you talk and that's it.
Yeah, well, it's a lot more visible now too with the internet. Like you said, you go online and you watch all these videos. But even 10 years ago, the only way you saw what other people were creating was at conventions or when new gimmicks and tricks came out. And so now it's so much more visible that a lot of people are creating very similar ideas. And it's not that they're taking ideas or stealing ideas. It's just that people are creative in similar ways. And I think it's awesome to see though how the community is evolving and benefiting, I think, ultimately because of it, because of all that accessibility to creative thinking and creative visibility.
This is the same thing like when, for example, I take it to dance. So when you train with certain people, always you kind of finish dancing like them. Like they all dance the same way. I mean, it's the same thing like London dancers dance completely different than American dancers. American dancers are more free and they like, I don't know, it seems like everything is really big and nice and they dancing. And in London it's very strict and really intricate and really controlled and clean. So it's the same thing in magic. I guess if now we're using social media to get inspired, that's why I was getting kind of unmotivated, because I was like, I don't want to do the rest of the same thing as everyone else do.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I do something different and it doesn't get as much engagement, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it's like, for example, like I'm editing, I mean, I finished a video that I filmed 2 days ago. And then it's very artistic. It's nothing much, like it's not magic. It's more movement, a little bit of like Jacqueline, I would say. It's just movement, but I wanted to do it for a while ago just to be more artistic, and it's more of something visual that I wanted to put out there, like something beautiful to watch.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny, be good. Thank you, brother.
and I'm worried. How is that gonna come across? And I'm like, why am I worried?
Yeah.
I was telling Hannah, I'm like, I don't think people will appreciate as much. When I'm like, I just want to put something there that is beautiful to watch. Yeah. That it comes from an advert that I'm like, ooh, that looks like a commercial. But I'm like, no, I did it.
I think, well, here's the thing. I think it's interesting because a lot of us hold back things that we want to share because we don't think that they're going to be as popular, let's say, as another post where, it's just our face. I don't want to say our face because nobody wants to see my face, but, I think when people post selfies, they get more likes than they would if they post, whether it's a dance routine or a magic trick or whatever. I think, I mean, I'm sure I think we've talked about this during the 24-hour, actually. I
mean, if I put a selfie, I don't get as many likes, to be honest. Really? I get better, I get more engagement with like tricks, and it's like, hey, you look. Not with selfies, but it's okay. I get many likes with a kiss. Well, that's a fucking joke. But yeah.
Well, I think the ultimate thing though with that too is I bet you this is going to be like the data nerd in me talking, but I feel like if you could get different views of your like engagement and you could actually see who likes the selfies versus who likes the tricks, I bet you there'd be a small overlap, but they'd be completely different segments of who follows you, because a lot of followers are there for the quick engagement and trick and the quick satisfaction. But then there's also like that core, really true baseline who's there because they want to know you. And they're the ones who engage probably more consistently across all your posts versus, who only engage on the ones they like. So And it's funny because it is hard to look past that number sometimes. And, we were even talking a little bit earlier and you said, you felt like you were sometimes too on Instagram and on social media in general. It's so easy to get wrapped up because, that's how they build it all. Right. And the number at the end of the day doesn't equate in any way to the value of the content you created. If you enjoy the creation process and you enjoyed the final product, like ultimately you're doing it for other people and yourself. And I think a lot of times for creatives, like you forget that you're a part of that, enjoyment.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was, that's kind of what I was talking. I was in live today before on my Instagram and it's true. Like, because now, for example, I enjoy do magic in person to people just because I like to jam with them. But now because you can't not, I'm not talking about Zoom magic or whatever, but the reason now it seems like for you to have any gratification or maybe like a kind of, maybe like like acceptance is like people commenting to your content or to whatever what you want. That's the only thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be that way. I want to enjoy what I do, and that's it, But I'm like, that's why I kind of be like, notifications off, and then just do your thing, keep doing you. Like, don't go to Instagram because otherwise, you start comparing yourself and everything. And obviously, everyone has their own story and and their own problems at the end of the day. So, I mean, that's why. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because we've talked about this with many guests and. When we're doing our socials, if we started at a certain style, we feel that we have to stick to that style, because all the followers that kind of we pulled in during those times, that's what they want to see, so in our heads, we can't change too quickly or too much because we're afraid or not even afraid that, we might lose, followers or engagement or things like that. And, it's interesting. It's definitely a game, and Tyler's a numbers guy, and we've talked to a couple people. Spade's amazing at it. It's definitely, it's definitely a job to learn how to navigate through social media. And there are a lot of people that are doing it right, and a lot of them stick to the same thing, and they don't even post things they like. They're just posting the things that.
They know you get that reaction.
It's their job. Anna talked about it. It's literally a job, and their job is to influence, and they have to stick with what they're influencing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a funny word. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
It's like I get what you're saying. For example.
Thank you, Mark. Mark, we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Like I see myself more of like, I don't know if you can. I believe you can see it on my Instagram. That is more that I care about my branding and about how do I put my content and everything. And I do share personal things on purpose, like on purpose, just because I don't want them just to see my work. I want them to see who I am. To be honest, like that's kind of what we talk as well on the 24 life that you guys did. That is more. I get inspired more with people than actually what they do. What they do is like, oh, that's nice, that's cool, But if you don't give me anything else, I don't know. Like I like to see the struggles of that person that I'm inspired with, or I'm like, oh, look, he got a dog, that's sick. Oh, okay. For example, she's gay. Oh, that's sick. So some people might feel might like that, for example, that I'm gay and I'm open about it, because they might be with that kind of same situation, or they might not be open about it. So I think it's important to share some certain of life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depending what you want, obviously. For me, I'm not crazy about social media. I do love working in what I've done, obviously, like commercials and like more artistic way. And social media, it just helps for me is kind of sharing what I have in my head, what I would like to do. Like, for example, oh, I want to do this job. Okay, let me make it happen. So I kind of try to make it my own self, and I just put it out there. That's kind of how you do the social media.
I think that's good, and it makes sense. I think a lot of people don't cater to themselves, and they kind of stay straight to what they're supposed to post. So I think for me it's refreshing to actually learn about someone through their social media, and I it's kind of cringy when they're just doing something for the likes, I guess. And we all do. Obviously I do it, everybody does it. But it's definitely refreshing learning more about the person and seeing the person for who they are.
Yeah, no,
I know
without a doubt.
a lot of people don't like to see politics and all that stuff, and I understand. Excuse me, I understand that, and I don't usually, on my card account, I usually don't post politics, but I like seeing that in a person. I like seeing what their morals are and what they believe in, and whether I believe it or not, it's still cool to just kind of gauge and see where they're at.
It's kind of your standards, to be honest. Like I see it like a brand, a company. If someone is supporting Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
you will automatically, I mean, if you obviously believe, I hope you do, you automatically will be like, oh my God, yes, I'm for it. I mean, like, I think it's important to share your ideas, obviously respectfully and everything, because there is so much kind of lies everywhere. Like, for example, in the fitness industry, there is a lot of shit going on. You might think that they're like, oh yeah, they support these people, but they might not, but they cannot sell it that way. I think as long as you are honest of what you are, I think people will feel more connected to you. And that's kind of, I always believe, and it's true things. For example, I met Hannah, I'm more like that, to be like, I will support something that I do believe. Because otherwise, you're just doing it, like, as you said, you eventually will realize that person is just doing it for whatever. And that's very sad, to be honest.
Yeah. No,
super sad. I don't know, like, sorry. Kind of went away with my idea.
No, it's so true. And, it's definitely refreshing, obviously. Seeing people for who they are is just great, especially if they're honest, and they're not afraid to post something that they believe in, whether they're going to get backlash or not, and I respect that.
I mean, now there's a lot of people doing it, like way more.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy. That's inspiring, to be honest. To be like I stop myself so much to share what I think on social media, just to avoid conflict, because I'm not very good at that. But I'm like, oh, is this worth it? Is this not? And I'm like, for example, the other day I shared about men, and I was talking to you guys. I was like, just get me pissed off, this man sometimes.
That's a perfect example. I think.
And I was like, should I post it? Should I know? And I'm like, fuck it, just gonna post it.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm all for it. Anytime we talk to females on the show or not, I'm always like, put that person on blast. I would love to share it. We would do anything. Obviously there's not very many females in this community, and the last thing we need is douchebags like doing what they do, to force them out, to make them feel even more uncomfortable than they already feel just being in the community, But it's cool to have badass females like you, Kat, E-Cat. Like, there's just, obviously I, didn't name everybody, but it's cool to see people that do call out, that do take a stand, and that are strong women that don't take any shit,
The thing I think is important that for example, that you don't call yourself female magician, because obviously it's very obvious that you're female, right?
Well, nowadays it's not. Nowadays we don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't call yourself, that's fair enough. But I do believe that, like, if you creating a difference, you're already creating a difference. Like, if you're calling yourself like that, and you want equality, sorry.
Yeah.
You're already making a difference. So why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, I consider myself an artist. I'm not saying like I'm a girl and I'm the best girl. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't. I'm like,
can you do that? Can you do a whole sentence in that voice? I want you to like yell at someone in that voice.
No, that comes in the moment, all right?
Okay.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's true. Like, obviously, okay, hashtag the magician. hashtag female magician, that's fair enough, because that's how you can maybe be found.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I'm kind of against that word. Like, I think we all artists, we all magicians, or whatever you do, you know, you don't have to make that so obvious. Because
Right.
I think, for example, I'm going to talk about sexy or whatever, but like, to be sexy, you don't have to be naked to be sexy, right? It's your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is being, you talk about it really a lot in dance. Like, the way that you dance, if you don't have to do certain things to be like, oh, let me dance sexy.
Right.
It's just the way who you are, you experience. It's just knowing yourself. That's what makes you interesting and be who you are and likable, I guess, right?
Yeah. And it's all
So that's
subjective,
why.
right? It's subjective. What's sexy to Tyler may not be sexy to me, you know, and vice versa. And, you know, and I think
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, someone might think someone's sexy and I might be like, that girl, you know, that person isn't sexy to me, you know? So it's definitely something that, whatever, we all have our thing.
Sorry, so cracking me up. I thought I would just brush my beard that I'm attractive.
Dude, X is always full of humor in the chat, and we love him being in here.
No, actually, can't come in the show.
No.
I think from here on out, he always wants to come on the show.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, dude, trust me. If it would be like, what's the word?
The four of us.
No, if it would be, you know, acceptable, we would do that. But you know, we have to highlight our guests.
We do love X in the chat, though, no doubt.
Oh heck yeah, for sure.
So now, other than the puppy, and you know, how is this actually all, like, the lockdown been treating the dance side of things? I know from Magic, it's probably a little easier because there's the idea of creating and Zoom if you really want to and things like that. But from dance, is it something that you find the collaborative environment, being with people physically, has been difficult?
So, like, for example, with dance, I'm still dancing, but I kind of took myself a little bit away from dancing, like training every day and things like that, just because I wanted to focus a bit more on Magic. It's still dancing, it's still freestyling, it's still auditioning for some dance, but not as full out as I used to.
Okay.
Just because obviously, like, dance industry is young, and I'm 30, so I'm like,
oh, you're so old.
You're definitely the youngest person on this show
young.
right now, so there you go. Yeah, age is all a number. If you feel young in your head, you're young. That's all that matters.
Exactly. No, but it's true. Like, you kind of need to pick up your ways. Oh my god. Sorry, I continue. It's fine.
Spade says he has socks that are 30. I don't know if that's bad or, like, I don't know.
No, that's terrible. That's terrible.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's what he uses to store his Jeffrey bucks.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, again, you have to kind of pick up your ways. I didn't stop dancing, but I'm definitely choosing a bit more like Magic, just because I feel it is my time now, and if I don't do it now, it'll be too late.
Yeah.
So dance, I had my career, and I could carry on, but trust me, it is tough as hell. Like, I'm a commercial dancer and a hip hop dancer, so it's no. I guess it works differently if you obviously are contemporary, or if you do like cabaret or whatever it is, or ballet. But the younger the better. But again, for example, I don't like teaching, so I wouldn't choreograph. I wouldn't go through that way. So what I'm more focusing now in dance is more about my freestyling, which I can incorporate to Magic.
Nice.
So that's why I call it Magic and Movement. So it's more about creating like visually, or just taking, again, dancers. Like, if you are a dancer, you always will be a dancer anyway. But that's why I haven't been training as much. So the thing is, now in the dance world, people, like really good people, have created a company which they teach online. So it's really good. Like, it's like magicians has done like courses online, so it's the same thing. But but in dance, they have taken it online. And I mean, I've been taking some classes in lockdown because I was like, oh my God, I need to move. And I've been taking some classes for popping with, I don't know if you know Mary Poppins. She's called Mary, but it's Mary
like
Poppins.
Mary
So like,
Poppins, the movie Mary
popping.
Poppins.
No, pop. So
Can't be like popping.
funny enough, Mark, who's
Yeah.
a big fan of yours in the chat, actually earlier said, if you or anyone want to learn locking, popping, or breaking, hit me up. I can teach you on Zoom for free. So
Oh, he's so
Mark's-
Oh, there
good.
you go.
yeah,
So
and
fun.
Mark says he does know her. He's a huge dance enthusiast. So and dancer
Mike knows
himself. So,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah. So like I know Mary Poppins, Mary, from like she used to come here to London, and now obviously she moved to LA. She's French. So yeah, I mean she's an amazing popper, and they have, it's called Female Fatale, something like that. The group, so they teaching online.
nice.
So I mean it was very fun. It's not the same, but for dance, like in dance, you don't need to be with other people to get your satisfaction from it. You know what I mean? Like in magic, I believe you need the others to get satisfaction, to be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm having fun. But with dance, as long as you're dancing and you're having fun and enjoying it and express yourself, you don't need much though. So yeah, just taking more of my time to freestyle, listen music, and yeah, that's why.
Dancing's more for yourself, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And like I've been more into tatting fingers. I guess you know what's tatting fingers and tatting.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like all that stuff.
That's cool.
All this.
You gotta make that noise too.
Yeah, sorry, that's like a dance by like boom, ka, ka, yeah, boom, boom.
I love this. This is great. See, so you can dance without music too, because you're making your own music. That's awesome.
We'll have to give her some music.
Mark knows what I'm talking about. He's like, yeah, tooting what?
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But so no, and that's good that at least the dance side of it has been able to, you've been able to still continue with that while being in lockdown.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
oh, go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry.
I was going to ask a completely different question, so you go follow up with that one.
No, you.
I have a question. So, who's your favorite dancer, male or female?
Oh, it's a good friend of mine. It's called Diana Matos.
Who?
Which is Diana Matos. She's Portuguese.
Diana Matos. Okay.
Yeah, she's incredible. I don't know if Mark knows her, but if you, Mark, don't know her, go and check her out because she's incredible. Like, you go and check it out on Instagram, Diana Matos. Like I know her since she moved to London and she moved to LA, and she's an incredible dancer in any way, and like an incredible person as well, because she's like super hard work, and because sometimes dancers get very comfortable, and once you get good, you don't train, which that is very bad. You always should be training. You always should get like refreshment, like for everything. Same thing for magicians as well. That you're always learning, right? But if you're stuck, you might miss out a lot.
Yeah.
So she's incredible. She's been in Nicki Minaj tour. She's been in Justin Timberlake tour. I think there is many dancers that I look up, but the whole package, I look for her. Like I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's so many amazing dancers. I think I don't know a lot of them by name. I do know that I do watch videos sometimes with the Millennium Dance group. Oh
yeah, ML.
Or the studio, I guess. Where most of the stuff I think coming out of LA is at that studio, right? It's like
there is Millennium and there is ML as well, yeah.
Yeah, it says Unity on the wall. So if anybody has seen videos with dancing, it says Unity on the back. That's the studio, and yeah, I mean the dancers I see on those videos are ridiculous. They're all anywhere from like 10 years old and up. They're ridiculous.
I mean, LA is next level about dance. Like like if you want to go to the next level in London, you should go to LA. Yeah. Like if you want to make it happen, I mean, you don't have to. You can obviously keep working constantly in London, but if you want something else, you should go to LA. Like that is kind of that's the deal here in London, at least. And I mean, there's people who love LA. There's people who doesn't. I'm not a fan of LA just because I don't I don't. It's just not my vibe. Like
I hear you.
it's hard. It's very.
I hear that. Not my vibe either.
Like it's very like in the dance industry. It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's tougher than in London. Obviously, more competition, but yeah, yeah. Like not for me anymore. I went there. I went for 1 month. It was amazing, and that's it. I came back. I just went there to train and to see what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sick, but I was like, no. Also, I don't drive, so it'll be in Uber everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to drive in LA anyway.
No, okay.
Oh my
Okay.
God. It takes you an hour to get everywhere. So if you're a mile down the road, it's going to take you an hour. If you're 2 miles down the road, it's probably going to take you an hour.
Oh my God! And I was staying in North Hollywood,
Yeah.
which that was it's called Debbie Reynolds, or that's in New York. I'm not.
Where?
I don't remember. I think that's in New York. Debbie Reynolds studio.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's in New York.
Hmm.
Never mind. That's fine. I was just nearby one studio. I don't remember now. And I was just walking, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not my vibe, LA. So it's okay.
Yeah. No, hey, I hear you.
In
It's
London now.
too much going on in LA, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like cutthroat.
I mean, London is pretty busy. It's always something going on. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
It's like mini New York, huh?
Mm.
So
Mini
cool.
New York. That sounds
Yeah.
better than New York, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I've been to both. I'd rather be in London. So
Yeah. I haven't been to London yet, but
Yeah.
I'd probably rather be there because I hate New York. So
I mean, I don't hate
Well-
New York, but it's definitely not my like. I'd rather be in New York than Philly. I'd rather be in London than New York. I feel like I'm pissing everyone off with these comments here, but that's fine.
Oh shit! I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more of a city girl. I love cities because I'm from a small village in Spain, and not village. Sorry, it's a city. Okay, it's a city, but it's very very small and very close-minded. Yeah, it's nice. It's cute. It's cute for a little bit, but not to live. Not for me. Like if you want a simple life, you should go there. If not, no. Because for me, I want things going on. I'm like, that's the reason why I'm London. It's always something happening. So I can imagine New York, it might be even the triple thing.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And so, well, and what originally brought you to like London? From obviously you're originally from Spain, but what kind of drove you to go to London? Was it the creative side of it? Were you from a city in Spain, or was that more of that like country lifestyle there for you?
Shall I tell you the whole story? I mean, I said on the 24 live thing. Shall I?
yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you want, yeah.
I mean, so how can I start?
Hold on, before
When
you start, Kat is leaving. So can you show her the pup?
Yes. 1 sec.
All right, Kat, hold on. You
Anna?
can't leave yet.
Wait. Hannah, can you bring Otto? Sorry. Is he here? Sorry. He's been
we had to give you the little
He's definitely
little
worth the wait,
dude,
Kat.
yeah.
Definitely worth the wait. He's adorable.
He's been a little shit.
Ah.
Aren't you?
I love the little like red coloring on his face though
Oh,
too. Like
look
under
at
the
it.
eyes. He's got that little like
Tears.
it's like it's funny though because it gives like an interesting contrast.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
working on it. I'm cleaning his tears, dry them up, so like that one day will become white. One
Nice.
day.
Like white,
Okay.
like
And
really
hello.
white, or like just lighter that color.
I mean, it will be the
As
color of his
white as
fur.
his nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should
Oh
be
wow.
white.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's because he's teething, so obviously that's why he's crying. Like he cries a lot, and he's breathe as well. Look at him.
He loves it. He looks
like,
so cute.
What you got me here? What you?
I
the
think
camera
Spade.
is
I
quite
think Spade and
obscure.
Kat are gonna fight over him.
He's like,
So Spade did ask earlier too. He said on a scale of 1 to 10, how many puppies do you want?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, we won an Italian Greyhound because they're very funny, and we want to call him Noodle.
Okay. So I
we
feel
want
like
Noodle and Otto.
I feel like you're gonna end up with a lot of puppies here.
I mean, the lifestyle, it'll be very difficult. He is grumbling right now, like he is being a little shit. Like Hannah is like, I'm not having it now. Because he needs to sleep by now. Look at him.
Oh.
He's relaxing now. He's relaxed now. He's like, what's up? Yeah. I mean, he can be here.
He's
he
so
can be here.
relaxed. That's great. Now, does he when you're dancing, does he go crazy or does he just let you do your thing?
He goes crazy, like because Hannah has them in the bedroom, and because it's carpet, he goes full out, and he goes mad. He's like, "Oh my god!" Because look at, I'm gonna show you his paws, but you see that there is so much hair on his paws.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can't work it out. There you go. You see how much hair?
Yeah.
So he's very slippery on the floor, so he can't run properly. So we have a carpet in there where he runs, but in the carpet in the bedroom, he goes mad. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got grip." So he goes.
It probably feels like his own fur.
Yeah. So that's why I think. I mean, he's quite chill.
Yeah, he's super chill. He's not like biting or licking the face. I hate when dogs lick my face.
Really, I quite like it. He licks our feet all the time.
Yeah, and then he licks your face. Yeah, no. I think I don't like dogs licking my face because they lick everything else.
Yeah, dude,
He eats from my feet.
it's no worse than literally just walking around all day. The things you breathe in without touching anything are just as bad as a dog licking your face, so you're fine.
It's
Enjoy.
not just as bad. A dog will lick its
100%.
asshole and then lick your face. It's not as bad.
Poop particles fly throughout the air everywhere all the time. Enjoy it.
There's difference between
No difference.
poop
There's no
particles,
difference.
poop particles, and actual a tongue that just licked poop on your face.
Nope.
I mean,
Yep.
he doesn't lick poop. He licks his penis, and that's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
see him lick his poop. He licks it, trust me. And then
All
he
right.
licks
But on that note, dog kisses, which is what we will call them for now, are adorable, no matter what Steve says. Oh my god.
He's like, "Cat is going. Ciao, cat."
Kat, thank you so much for stopping in. Glad you got to see the pup before you had to leave.
Thank you, Kat.
You're gonna have to fight it out with Spade later on. We're looking forward to that. We will live stream it if you'd like. Oh my god, I love
Dude,
it.
that'd be great. I'd watch that.
Absolutely.
I'd totally bet on Kat, that's for sure. He's a gentleman. He might not come off as a gentleman, but he's a gentleman. He wouldn't fight back, I don't think.
I don't know, man.
I hope no.
We'll have to wait and see. But so now, what did we even? I think we got sidetracked from the Spain to London story.
Oh yeah.
Puppy.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I interrupted
I was
you.
gonna say, I'm like, where did we leave off? And I'm like, I don't even think we actually started. So
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to move to London is because it was way more opportunities. So it was random because when I finished, is it high school? I guess.
okay, yeah,
In English, like when you finish when you're 18.
yeah, high school, yeah.
Yeah, before university, I guess. So yeah, I said to my parents, I want to dance. So like, I don't want to study any career because I was like, nothing calls me really unless it's art, and I didn't have the option to go for some reason. So I was like, meh, I'm gonna go to Madrid and I'm gonna dance. So I went to like a conservatoire because I was dancing ballet my whole life.
Okay,
And I started dancing hip hop when I was 17, more or less.
Nice.
Because there's people coming from America going to Madrid. So I was like, oh, yes, let's do this. And I fell in love with hip hop. And with my cousin, she was modeling by then. So she's like, hey, why are we not going to London? We were in a bar kind of drinking. And she's like, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. We said it to our moms. And my mom is like, what? And I'm like, yes, please, we're going. And she's like, okay. She kind of left it. And I kind of went serious, but my cousin was like, no, I'm not going to go to London. She went to Italy to keep modeling and stuff. But then I kind of stuck to that. And my mom was supporting me more than my dad. So my mom just convinced my dad anyway. So I went to London for a week. And because I had to kind of make sure I like the city because otherwise I'm going to move. And I'm like, ooh, I don't really enjoy this. But I loved it. I loved that week that I was there. I went with a friend. By the way, I didn't speak any English at all. At all. Like nothing.
Wow.
Like if you would speak to me, I will not be able to separate any words.
oh wow.
And
Well, you've come a long way from there, so that's awesome.
10 years.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
mean, 10 years.
Well,
It's
and you're
like,
you're living in it, so you realize you kind of needed to survive to some extent.
yeah, you can't imagine what the like surviving. Yeah,
Yeah.
can do to you. But yeah, anyway, after that week, I kind of decided to go. So that was in September, and I was like, I'm gonna go on the 4th of October. And
Wow.
yeah, I kind of start moving things out, and I had some contacts from Madrid that they were some people in London as well, some Spanish people. But then in October I moved and by myself and everything. I had a friend that she was helping me out a lot with everything, obviously with English and because she was Spanish. But yeah, and from there I never moved back, and I will never be until I'm retired.
There you go.
When you're retired, ready to settle down and just kick your feet up, you just
In Ibiza.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know if that's
No, no
settling down.
relaxing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's just enjoying your
It is
free time to
relaxing.
party. That's good though. That's good though. Oh,
No,
God.
yeah, like it's just because there is more opportunities, and I wanted to dance hip hop, and by then, obviously by then it was no YouTube or anything like that. It was nothing. It was no social media. We didn't even have phones, like smartphones. I had a BlackBerry.
There you go.
Oh, you're one of
That was like
those.
that was like the smartphone. You were
I was
kind of
like, you one of those.
You're one
Yeah.
of those.
I mean, I moved to iPhone after. It's just because I couldn't afford it. Because when I was here, you couldn't have a phone contract until you 3 years living in London. So
Oh,
oh,
wow.
okay.
more or less. Yeah, so I couldn't have any contract to be honest. So once I had 3 years and I could speak more English and I could work and things like that, because I was going crazy. Obviously, like the first 2 years, my parents were helping me out with the money, but until that, I got what I was doing is just like, okay, so I need to work. I'm gonna start working in a hotel. But I was dancing at the same time. I was like fully 5 hours dancing every day and then going work.
Wow.
So like I have to make this happen because otherwise, like, what am I here for? And the cool thing in London, you have anything you want to do. You want to do aerials? You can do it. You want to dance tap? You can do it. Like you don't have to travel to the next city. So that's why I was I was so excited about to do everything I wanted it. I was still doing magic, because I was working as a magician doing magic shows, like stage shows. Magic and dance, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, back in Spain. So on summer I will go to Spain to do that, to work like that.
Mm.
But my first job it was in London. I never worked in Spain apart from magic.
Oh, wow.
That's why I feel like I grew in here, like I became an adult here, because
Nice.
I like sharing rooms and everything, and I don't know, just do everything by yourself. And yeah, I'd be very independent with my parents in that sense. Like my parents were never like, oh, you need to call me every day or anything like that. So that I think that pretty helped. And yeah, like I was dancing, I was training like crazy, working in a hotel, learning how to say things about breakfast. But because
Would
I'm
you
like,
like some
okay,
orange juice?
yeah, like trust me, I was like, okay, how is fork? How do you say spoon? How do you say? Give me a second, I get my manager.
Nice.
That is the best sentence I ever learned. I just kind of like that, and I moved to a hotel from bartendering, from waitressing, and I was like, waitressing is shit. I don't want to handle that. Let me be a bartender. And that was tough because I was like, again, same amount of training because I was training by myself and like dropping classes and then working on the weekends. But then I will have an audition the next day and I'll finish work at 5. And I'm like, everyone is fresh apart from me. I mean, it's very tough.
Now,
But
when you're like when you're bartending, do you bring dance into everything? Like, do you dance behind the bar? Do you dance like even when you're like getting out of bed? Do you kind of dance your way out of bed?
no, not that. Not that. I mean, I used to dance everywhere.
Yeah.
I think I kind of stopped because I was like, yes, Sonia, you've done that already. You don't have to, but like I used to do that in supermarkets. Like I think I can still do it a little bit when I get into like the song. But yeah, like at night, because I was working in bars that I really liked it to make cocktails and stuff like that. By the way, I was not drinking. I was the only one who were not drinking the entire night. And I promise you, it's the hardest thing ever. To handle drunk people? Nah. You need to be drunk to handle them. But I wasn't. Just because obviously I wanted to train the next day. I wanted to be good. I didn't want to be like hungover or extra tired the next day. But yeah, I was doing magic to get tips. I was be like, oh, you saved this pound? Okay, watch. Did I blow? Oh, it sounded like whatever. Sorry. Like make it disappear, and wait,
they must have loved that. They must have loved it.
People loved it, and some girls were not loving it as much.
That's because you made them look bad. And
maybe,
probably impressed their man, and they were like, oh no.
I was just being cheeky, and they were like, what is my pound? And I'm like, it's tips. And she's like, no, I didn't give you tips. I'm like, girl, I did make you an amazing cocktail. That is tips. Like, you want to see your manager? I'm like, okay, just get your pound and whatever.
All you have to say is that was a tip for not spitting in your drink.
Oh my God. I mean, here they don't have the tip saying situation as in America, but
yeah, it's different.
In Canada, yeah, whole different game.
Yeah, you have to work hard for you.
and yeah, you're definitely not getting compensated like equally with tips there. It's tough.
Yeah. Exactly.
When you're at the bar though, like people are drunk, they tip. That's for sure.
I mean, some people just drop notes in the bar and I just take them sometimes, but if they've been an asshole the entire time, I'm like, ooh. If they've been nice, no, I'll be like, hey mate, you drop a note, but yeah.
That's funny. I can't even imagine how much like aggravation you had to deal with though.
Like that's why like being a waitress, it was horrible because a waitress is cool during the day, but the type of bar I was working, it will become like a disco, like a proper club. So you become taking glasses. So everyone just does whatever they want to you. Yeah. But I'm like, I was not having it. I was like, if someone will touch my ass, I'll be like, I was like, yo, security code, get him out. Yeah, I was getting crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Like, and also it was very tough. Like, so I think it was in 2014. I did a gig for Pharrell Williams on the British Awards.
Awesome.
And I was all over the moon. I was like, oh my God, that was like my first big job. And it was the song Happy.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so I that was amazing because I was like one of the featured dancers. So I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm the main one. Amazing. That was on a Friday. Listen, on a Saturday, I had to come back to the bar to work and be taking classes with all the because I'm happy. And I'm like, look what perspective is in life, right?
So crazy. Yeah. No, it's funny. That's what it's all about.
That's the life of an artist, to be honest. But
working hard to like do what you want to do, right? You do what you love, and then you go to work.
I'll be like, you fucker, you now touching my bum. I was yesterday in this place for this person, and I'm like, yeah, it's just funny how people can kind of like in bars, you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, oh, you shit because you work in here. I'm like, no, man, everyone is hustling.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean. That just goes to show we don't know people's story.
100%, yeah.
It's we have to be a little bit more open to where we meet people. It
was a good lesson to learn as well. Obviously, as you said, like for myself, like you never know what the other person is happening in their life at the moment. So it's like be mindful. Just ask how you are back.
Yeah, for sure. and care. Don't just be like, oh, how are you? Like
exactly. I'm one of the ones who's like, hey, how you doing? Good. Oh yeah, but like, how you been? And yeah, I've been doing this, and people is like, I just was trying to be polite.
Right. Yeah. Just small talk. They're like, oh yeah, how you doing? I'm doing good. Okay, and that's all they want to hear.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing in the lift. I say hello to everyone. I don't know. In Spain, I used to say hello to everyone on the building. We we live in a huge building, and Hannah was laughing. She's like, "Why you say hello to everyone?" And also they make it awkward because they don't say hello back. So you on the lift, you're like hello, and they're like, if it's like 10 floors to go, you on the 10 floors awkwardness until you get to 0. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you made it awkward, not me.
Yeah.
You
No,
know, that's super awkward.
Leslie does the same thing. She's like, "Why do you say hi to everybody?"
It's being polite.
I'm like,
Yeah, and you never know. Like you never know. You might say hi to someone and be really nice to someone in Whole Foods, right? And then the next day get pulled over by someone and it's that person you were nice to in Whole Foods. Like,
and you get a discount in Whole Foods. Listen.
you just don't get a ticket from the cop if you get pulled over.
I always do the same thing here in Pret a Manger. I don't know if it's like a coffee shop and with sandwiches and things like that. And they give them like certain money to the employees to give away, like to like a goodwill. So if you're nice to them, they give you free coffee sometimes.
Nice.
So I was just being super nice to them just because I knew that they were doing that. So I always asking them, "Oh my God, so how are you? Yeah, like how you been? Blah blah blah." And yeah, some girls were not very nice. So like, oh, this bitch is not gonna give me anything. So I was just seeing her face. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna try it. But other people were super nice and giving you free food. And I'm like, listen, if you give me that, I'll coming back every day. I'll
Now we know. Now we know, Tyler. If she's nice to us, she just wants something.
There you go.
No. No, I'm just being nice because I have to. Okay.
There you go. Now, see,
Yeah,
that's the funny thing about it. Like, because Spade even said, he's like, I don't say hi to anyone, and I think it's just like the way, like, I don't know, like maybe like that differentiation between like introverted and extroverted people, to people to some extent, where if you're extroverted, you want that social energy, that interaction, and even in a situation like being in the lift with, you know, the quiet, it just doesn't settle right, and so you say hi because you want to spark up a conversation, because you genuinely want to get to know the people, but because of that like social desire there, which I think is awesome though. Like that's 90% what makes the world go around. And like even myself, like if I was in an elevator and someone said hi to me, like I'm an introverted person, I'd probably be like taken aback at first, but then I'd be like, "Hey, how are you?" Like that's how you get people to open up. If no one says hi, no one has a conversation.
I kind of got pissed off when people don't say like bye to me or hello. I'll be like, "Are you rude?" I'd be like, "Oh, okay, no, Sonia, maybe I don't know, maybe they're introvert or whatever, they shy." And I'll try one more time. I'm like, "Listen, nah. If you cannot say just hello back to me, nah." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna say hello to anyone now. And that's kind of my vibe now. I'm like, I get into a lift, and when someone say hello, I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." I'm like, "Hey."
It's funny because there's so many reasons why people don't say hi back, or I mean, I think some people have social anxiety. They really like cram up, I guess, when someone confronts them or says hi, or they kind of get so nervous they don't know what to do. And it's not so much the rude thing, it's more like, oh my God, if am I gonna say hi and they're gonna make fun of me, or am I gonna say something wrong? Or I think it's interesting, like the dynamics between introverts and extroverts, and people have social anxiety.
I also saw like a quote saying that says basically what you say, and I'm like, that's true. It is true. Like if you, I don't know, like I'm not super extrovert. I am good talking only one-to-one or with 3 people, but I'm not good talking in public. Like I pretty struggle a lot. So I will just stay quiet and listen. That's why I might come across shy or maybe rude or whatever. Maybe my Spanish way of saying things might come across, I don't know, quite rude, but it's true. Like I think it was Troy. I don't know if you guys know Troy, a magician here in London. He posted something. I think it was like a quote, like a meme thing, saying like someone shy might come across very rude, but they struggling in the insides, and they got their own reasons why they're not being out there. So like it helps when you kind of being open to them, and maybe like, I don't know, like if you are with a good group of friends and someone is not getting involved and you're like, "Oh, why he's not getting involved?" I'm like, but maybe you should do the effort to go to that person and make them
Yeah.
feel like home. So like it does make a big difference, and I definitely felt that way many times. So like I know the two sides. So it's true that you kind of need to obviously see the other side of the dice of
Of the
the
coin.
coin.
Of the
Yeah,
dice. Well, here's the funny thing, though. I think
No, there's 5 sides of the dice.
Yeah. See, maybe that's more accurate though. There, people are never just one thing or another. So one side of the die could be completely different. I think that makes sense.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and the crazy thing is I think we need to take a lesson, because obviously this world is built on being an extrovert, right? If we want to get together, we go for a drink, we go to like out to eat, we go to a gathering. Like there's just always like extroverted activities, you know? And I think the extroverts need to take a little lesson from the introverts and sometimes just shut the fuck up, you know, and just, you don't have to approach everybody. You don't have to, you know, sometimes you just need to be quiet and listen, you know, and I think that's something we could definitely learn from introverts, you know. And it's funny because usually when you see a couple and one person's an extrovert, the other person's an introvert, and they kind of balance each other out, you know. And that's just what I found when, you know, someone's an introvert, the other person's an extrovert, you know.
Yeah, no, totally. Otherwise, it'll be too much. It kind of be too much. It'll be like, oh my god, I can't handle them both.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. That's why Tyler and I can't
each other.
I'm the extrovert in this relationship. And
Yeah,
he's
no, I'm definitely the introvert. I'm 100% the introvert. That's how it works. But it works perfect. Yeah.
You remind me somehow, Taylor, to Bo for some reason.
He's actually an extrovert. He's an introvert. What is it?
I'm an introverted I'm an extroverted introvert. Yeah. Yeah. I can be outgoing, I can be social and all that, but it definitely drains me. So like, you know, like Steve said, going out to the bars and everything, it used to be that like when I'd go out to the bars and I'd have a really good time with my friends and I'd be social, I'd come home and I'd instantaneously crash and just be like tired and sleep for like hours.
That's
Like,
because you always drank too much.
yeah, but like, I'm sitting here being like, yeah, it was also like 3:00 in the morning, so maybe that was it too. But like, no, for me, I need that like social recharge. So like, I rarely can go out 2 nights in a row. The second night, I just need to stay in and like recharge myself. So that's it's tough. I don't know. That's just kind of how it is. So
I mean, that's how you are. There's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah, but like, but there's definitely been times where I'm sitting there, and I feel like it's probably on either side that's probably true. Like I know for me as an introvert, there have definitely been times in my life where I'm like, man, I wish I had been a little more outgoing, or I wish I had said something, or I wish I had done this, you know. But even being an extrovert, I'm sure there's times where you're sitting there being like, man, I wish I hadn't said that, you know, things like that. So
I mean, that happens to me too. I'll be like, oh, but I believe when you say those things, you know, you don't feel as comfortable with the other people. And that happens to me so many times in, for example, the dance industry. Like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say these things. I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't show myself as much. Like, just because you don't feel as comfortable with the other because you might feel judged. Yeah. That's why I believe so. You're like, maybe.
No, it's true. I mean, I think a lot of people, I mean, it depends on the dynamic, right? I think
probably, yeah.
It depends on the community that you're in as well. I think, and this is just my, you know, assumption. I would think, by the look of it, dance to be very competitive, right? And judgmental in a way.
Yeah, it is. Like it's all about how you look, how cool you are,
right?
So who you know.
I would be nervous to talk and dress a certain way and do so. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough because even though, for example, if you want to be taken as a professional, you obviously need to act as a professional. You need to be presentable. You cannot go just like, yeah, you can go baggy, you can go, but you need to have some swag. You need to have some, you know, I don't know. Again, there is times and times as well. There's situations. You know what I mean? Like if you are in a company, you're going just to rehearse or whatever. Cool, do you know, with your people. But if you go into rehearsals in a job, you make sure you look good,
right?
Because you're in a job. Or if you go into a dance class and and you want to be seen by some people, you make sure you do look good in any way. How to dance, obviously you'll dance it properly good, and you look good too. And obviously as well, your energy in the room, like you are sociable, that you are nice, that you are someone who the other people wants to work with, someone easygoing and someone, I guess, likable or fun. Just being who you are, but like that's kind of what I learned with the process of what I think is important in magic as well. That's why I'm so much with like sharing my life, sharing my branding. Because if I don't know, if I like you guys, I'll be like, oh, let's collaborate together. You know what I mean? Like, but no matter if I don't like you and I like your work, it might be less likely to work with you. You know?
Which one is it? Do you like us or do you like our work?
I like both.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
So no, and I think you make a very valid point though too. I think a lot of times there's people who, especially in the social media atmosphere, collaborate for the sake of collaboration instead of because they enjoy the people and the work they do. And I think, like you said, you have to enjoy both, because if you don't, it's going to be a very rough relationship while you're trying to build that collaboration. And ultimately the collaboration may not actually happen, or it may not be what you wanted it to be, or it may not be as good as you wanted it to be because of that tension. And, finding people who you like, I think ultimately probably leads to collaboration more so than finding people to collaborate with who you may then turn out to like,
Yeah, like I guess as well about collaborations, the both sides of the table need to really understand what you bring to the table that the other person is missing. Because I'm like, someone might want to collaborate with the other person. I'll be like, but what are you giving to that person? Or the opposite, I don't know. Like if I've got nothing to give you, like you're not gonna feed from me.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But you guys will be like, oh, I can't be bothered to do this, because obviously it's not like so fearful for you. Like it's not cool. Like you're not learning anything. You just do me a favor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which is cool. Like, yeah, if you want to do a favor, that's fine. But then those favors might get tired. And yeah, I think it's important to know what you got to bring. I kind of go to Beyonce, hey, I wanted to collaborate with you, and be like, okay, what are you gonna do for me?
Well, and that's something we've talked about on the show before too, the idea of collaboration. And I think actually the way you phrase that is perfect, because I feel like a lot of times too, especially in today's environment with social media, people don't come with this plan of how to collaborate. They reach out and they're like, let's collaborate. And you're like, okay, on what? And they're like, I don't know. I just want to collaborate with you. And you're like,
yeah. Like, I just want you to take your idea. So I just want you to do the stuff and then I do it. And I'm like, so then I'll hire you for that, or you hire me for that. And
yeah. At that point, it's a job. It's not collaboration. But like, really, to be collaborative in this day and age, you need to come with a plan. You be like, hey, I have this idea. I think you would be perfect to do this idea with me. Let's collaborate. And then you end up with hopefully a good relationship there that ultimately ends up in a good collaboration. But there's so much I want to say there's so much hype around the idea of collaboration these days that everyone wants to collaborate without realizing what they want to collaborate on or what that actually means.
Yeah. I mean,
I believe they just want exposure.
And Spade said it. They just want, a shout out. It's funny because, Tyler and I will have meetings between the two of us with like just brainstorming ideas. And, obviously we're big fans of collaborating, whether we're doing it or we're seeing it in the community. We think it's great for the community for collaborations. But before we even pitch to anybody, literally the thing we talk about is how will the collaboration be good for the other person, not for us. Like what can we actually do for the other person that would make them want to collaborate with us? And I think there's definitely something to be said about being patient and approaching that person at the right time. Don't just do it because, oh, this person's cool and I want to collaborate. I want to do a giveaway or I want to do whatever. What it comes down to is, especially the bigger the brand, you better have your shit together. You know, because if
Absolutely.
you might have one chance to collaborate with that person, and if you reach out too early, you're done. You know, there's your chance. So I think what it comes down to is, you know, knowing who you want to collaborate with, and when you do approach them, like bring a project and how you want to collaborate.
It's taking it more professionally, I guess. It's like when you approach someone, think that you're approaching a company. How
Yeah,
you want to be like, and also how you're going to come across, and what is your portfolio, whatever. Like, it's different if you want to help out someone, or you know what I mean. Like, that is a nice thing. If it's your friend or whatever, hey, yeah, I help you out with this. Let's do something together. That's different, but that's kind of, I guess, like a very thin line, you know, to cross. But I guess you can kind of see the people who comes because of the shout out. You can always turn it different to be like, oh, okay, they just want this. And also for me as well, like, again, this is about values. I believe sometimes, like, um, remember when you supporting something, right? Like, that's what we were talking before. Like, if you support, like, for example, I was doing this morning, this while playing cards, they came out with a mask, and they're gonna donate all the profits to the Polar Bears International. So I'm
Okay.
like, so I'm just giving an example for them, right? So
thank you so much, Mark. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate the
Thank you,
support,
Mark.
man.
So like if they, sorry, I lost it. Sorry,
Okay,
this
We're
happens
talking
to me
about
so
polar
much.
bears and masks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like if I wouldn't believe in it, but I still support it, I'll be lying. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then other people will just lost, like they will just not believe in me.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, oh, she just supports everything. Or if I share something because of the sake of sharing, because a lot of people are like, oh, can you share this? Oh, can you share this? And I'm like, the fact that I'm sharing things of myself is because I believe it's good.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So if I do not believe it's good, you're telling me to share it. I'm like, first of all, I don't know, it's cool to ask to share, but I'm like, I always say like, share if you like, share if
Yeah.
I mean, I don't share if you don't like it, don't care, because
Right.
move on and I do it to the other person. But I'm like, that's why I'm like, I'm not a fan of those things. I'm like, cool, I support the collaboration or whatever if I do believe it's good.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's gonna be my name. And I guess I want to be true to myself and support whatever I believe is good. If I'm wrong later on, cool. At least I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong or whatever, you know, that wasn't
Right.
as good. But I don't know. Otherwise, you kind of feel like you lose the trust in people, and people will just not take you seriously anymore.
Yeah.
This
No,
is like spin as well. When you tell them in the spin classes, you tell them, guys, there is just one more round to go, and there is 3 more rounds.
Oh,
The second round, you're like, oh my, you motherfucker. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, guys, it's fine. Yeah. Next track, guys, it's last round. And there's another one to go. You're like, no, I don't believe you. Fuck this. I'm not going.
dude, you know, that I'd be mad. Just hearing that like analogy made me upset inside. Like,
but there's different. Here's the thing, though. There's a big difference in that with inspiration. Sometimes people need a little bit more inspiration, and they need to push a little harder, and it's good. But if obviously there's 3-4 rounds of that, totally different story. But if you're on like 2 more reps, so like let's say when you're weightlifting or something, and your spotter is like, come on, we got 2 more, and you bang out those 2 and you have more to go, like, yeah, all right, we got 3 more, you know. So in, you know, those instances, it's definitely,
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying when you lie and spin, it's because
yeah.
you might don't know your music, so you're like, oh fuck, I fuck it up. There's another round. You know what I mean? But like that's why you need to make sure you're professional. You do your thing. I mean,
Thank you,
it
Mark.
happened.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
What is that sound?
It's a bomb.
Oh,
That was terrible.
oh,
That
and
was
I wish
terrible.
I would like
It did not sound like a bomb.
It totally sounded like a bomb. Mark is dropping bombs.
No, on my end it did not. It just sounded like static.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to get a new bomb.
There you
Dang.
go. Here you go. Thank you, Mark.
Killing it.
That's Tyler's favorite sound.
It is my favorite sound.
That's
That's
good.
one of 3, but yes. There you go. Xavier says sounded like a loud toilet.
Dang, that's a loud toilet, that's for sure. I'll have to get a new bomb sound.
There we go. We'll find them. But
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's yeah, I mean, if you're lying, eventually you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, that's why I
You can
just
lie
think
for
it's
so
just
long.
yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, everyone can have mistakes. You know what I mean, like, and nowadays in social media, everything stays there. So I need to be careful what I say here, for example. You know what I mean?
I know.
So I might say now that you might be wrong too. So it's okay. I might change my mind later on. Who knows?
That's
Nothing is
okay.
forever.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. Some people may like, oh wait, you say this in 2012, and yeah, and then, oh fuck. Yeah.
As long as it's not something bad and it's just a different position, then you can just say it was growth. You've grown since then. But yeah, as long as it's not something like offensive, then you're fine.
There you
So,
go. That's true.
Yeah, but even I mean, I'll look at it this way. You know what? If 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you said something offensive and you were like a racist person, and then you went on this big journey and traveled around the world and became like a more open, acceptable person, like that's okay too. Like, yeah, you used to be a racist ass, but now you're not. You're more acceptable now, and that's okay. That's why when people bring up this old stuff that, oh, this person said this 25 years ago, and now they're
Yeah,
amazing people, it's like, let it go.
because they change, which is actually better.
Yeah,
yeah, no, without a
exactly.
doubt. Well, and I think that a lot of it though depends too on how the person reacts when they get called out. And I feel like we're going down an interesting tangent here. But like if someone reacts defensively to that and just says, "Oh, well, that was 25 years ago," like that's not the best response though. And I think that's what gets people up in arms, where people come out and they say, yes, I realize the error of my ways and I've grown as a person
Yeah.
and I acknowledge that what I did was wrong and I apologize for it. Those kind of things. I think that's where you see people are a little more accepting of the fact that like, yeah, they messed up in the past and now they're good. I mean, look at the stuff with Justin Trudeau and like the Halloween costume with what was that, like the blackface Halloween costume. Yeah.
No
And so
idea.
like but he owned it. And that was one of the things where I was like, all right, like he took ownership of the situation. He admitted to the wrongdoing. He, talked about the growth and things like that. And yeah, people who sit there and just say, oh, well, it was a different time then. Like that's not you admitting that you understand that it wasn't right to do just because it was a different time. So
Yeah, well, I mean, things definitely change, and
yeah.
sometimes things are acceptable, sometimes they're not. And I think the time that we live in, things just change, and I think, like you said, owning up to it definitely gets a different response than just kind of being defensive about it. And it's just like when you're in a fight with your loved one. If you're being defensive and everything, it just fuels the fire, rather than just being like, I'm wrong. If you say I'm wrong, what are they going to say?
Yes, you're wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. And then the fight's
They'll fit with that. They'll be like, yes, you're wrong, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but at least they'll get over it quicker rather than you arguing for another.
You better be sorry. Yeah, true. Okay, so I can't say anything now.
Right? Exactly.
So on that note,
Okay,
I'm gonna
let's
switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up completely here because last time we forgot and we're not gonna forget
Oh,
this
yeah,
time.
it's
We're an
good
hour
call,
and
good
28
call.
minutes in. We are gonna do our sniff for stew now. We've I know we talked to you a little bit in the past, but for anyone who's watching who isn't aware, we had a good friend of ours on, Stu McCann, on episode 10, I want to say, of Deckin Around. And since then we've had this tradition where we have guests open a new deck of cards and sniff it and kind of treat it as like a wine tasting. They give us their thoughts on the deck of cards. So you do have a deck of cards handy, correct?
Yes.
All right. And that's actually one of my favorite decks because at the same time
Really?
because at the time I found out about that deck, I had actually just gotten a Hanya tattoo. So that's one. So I like the connection between, I love the design on it and everything. So very awesome deck choice.
Good. Yes, Damien. I'm like, okay. Cool. So I think it's the only one that I had mute here. Damien can give me more,
You got to make your own deck.
That's true. I wanted to. I have like cool ideas for it. And just, there's things I have a problem with big projects that they never happen because they're too big.
Yeah.
I need to make a small projects to make it happen. But I kind of want to design it myself. I don't want to get anyone else to design it. I want to design it myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to learn how to draw in the computer.
I mean, technically, you don't have to, right? You can design it yourself and then give it to a designer to do.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And
Isn't that learning how to design it on like Illustrator is like a whole different ballgame.
It's very difficult for people to get your idea. Oh, I struggle. I don't explain myself properly also, but yeah, for them to get the idea. So it is smelling them, right?
Yep.
They smell like plastic.
They're not plastic though. Why do they smell like plastic?
No, they smell obviously like. Oh, you know when you smell and you get the new books and they smell of new books. That's how they smell.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. It reminds me in summer. I don't know if you get your new books or from your brother or sister. The book smell. I used to get just one new book, so I was like, ooh, what smells?
Well, here's the thing. Who gave it to you, your brother or sister?
My brother.
Oh, so your sister's the rude one.
No, I only have one brother, so.
There you go.
Freaking brother. Yeah, it doesn't smell like that. I know it's actually the English book. You know, I don't know if obviously I had English book, which is the one with grammar and the one that is to the work. So the work one, which is new one, the work is you just have to write it down. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
And the other one is in color, and that one it has to be used from my brother. So the other one, obviously, it has to be new. So that's how it smells.
All right, interesting. See, no, I like that because I feel like you just took a very personal memory and brought it into the deck. And more often than not, we get people say, "Oh yeah, it smells like glue or paper." Yeah. I like that personal sense, especially because they always talk about how you can you can your sense of smell is the biggest thing for memory. So like smell triggers memory more than any other sense. So the fact that you have that memory triggered by it's awesome.
Yeah, you're so right. And I'm like a bloodhound too, though. I've got a very sensitive sense of smell.
Nice.
I'm like, I win the sofa. I'm like, ooh, also just Pete. Like, oh, let me see the tree. Yeah, like, I can smell everything.
So don't fart around you then, huh?
No, he didn't fart. Yes, yeah.
No, I'm saying nobody can fart around you because you'll smell it right away.
Oh hell no! I even smell the breath of people next to me in the tube, and that's disgusting.
Oh, that's disgusting.
All right.
No, with mask is fine. But
I know, right? It's like a blessing having masks right now. I said it's been a blessing not having. Having to wear masks. You can't worry about you don't have to worry about people your own breath.
I kind of realized I was like going to teach it. I was like, ooh, smells pretty good in here. I mean, you also realize if your breath smells so.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's one of the problems though, is if your breath does smell, you're now trapped in there with your own breath. So
that's why I always have mints. Always have mints.
There you go. There you go.
I love it.
That's the key. Now, obviously we were talking about projects that you were working on, and we did touch base on do you have anything new coming up or anything that you've been working on that?
So, okay. For example, I have many projects that I want to do, and I have all write it down. I'm working in a couple of videos that I'm filming soon. I'm filming one tomorrow with a friend. It's just like a creative way of doing something. You guys see it. Nice. But I've been working on this.
Nice.
Oh, what's that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool.
So this is me.
Uh-huh.
So obviously like that, I don't have to pay any copyrights or anything. So that's my face.
Yeah.
Easy. So obviously Hannah took the picture and everything. And it's because all it started from all my effects that I've been doing with Nike, with Adidas, playing around with that. And I'm like, sometimes I do not handle, sometimes I don't have a deck of cards with me. My kind of magic is always more organic. I do tricks with cards, but it's more like I like to do like I like mentalism a lot as well because you don't need much with you, right? And I feel like it's more magical. It's like, ooh, you actually can do magic with anything, right? Um, so I'm like, how cool would it be to produce a card from your T-shirt? So you just have to wear your T-shirt, and then you pull out the card that the other person is thinking of. How freaking powerful that could it be? So, I mean, this didn't come out like that. It came out from my video of the lemon. I don't know if you guys seen it. I have a lemon on my T-shirt, and take it off, and it disappears and appears a whole lemon.
So cool.
So yeah, so obviously I cannot do that to people.
Right.
I mean, I could do on the stage. On the stage, I'll be like card to lemon and things like that. I'm like, pooh, that's what I was thinking of. But I'm like, no, I wanna, because for me, I think the most powerful magic is when you do it in person. Because every time I do magic to people, like in events, they ask them, have you seen magic before? And they say yes or no. I'm like, no. I'm like, oh yes, cool. But if they say no, if they say yes, I'm like, but have you seen it like close to you or just in them on TV? Because in TV is different magic, right?
Yeah.
It can be amazing, but when you do magic to someone like one-to-one, it can be very powerful. So that's why I was like, oh, so what happens if I don't have a deck of cards with me? And I just kind of sort of, instead of a lemon, I'm like, oh, let me do a card. But I didn't want to put a whole card in it because I hate all the designs, all the cheesy designs, magic T-shirts in the world. I hate them. So
they're a little tacky, right?
Yeah, they're very tacky.
Yeah.
So sorry, maybe not all of them, but all of them that I've seen, I will not wear that. I hell no wear that. So what I was thinking is, before this T-shirt, I've done another T-shirt, but it was more because I'm like, oh, I don't have a deck of cards, but I wanted to have something of myself that I could give to people or people could buy from me. But I'm like, but I want that T-shirt to be the same by me. I don't want to put just magician or whatever, you know. And I'm like, I wanted to create a cool logo and things like that. So I made the logo, and through Photoshop, I was inspired by Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I always say it wrong. So by One Design, and it has I should have bring it with me, but can I bring it?
Yeah.
I take 2 minutes.
Yeah, take your time.
We'll get some Jeopardy music going.
Yes.
It's somewhere here. Hold on. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Look at that.
Also, it's like, what's going on? Oh shit, where's my? Oh wait, I'm gonna. Oh, because it's the battery change. One second, I'm gonna change it to freaking battery is fine.
After the show, remind Steve to send you the
hello.
link. There you go.
Nice.
Is that better? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No camera now. Oh, it's so bright now.
It's perfect.
Okay, too busy. Sorry, I woke him up. There you go. So this is the design at the back.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's super cool.
So, like, for example, obviously the MGC is called, the camera is opposite, so I don't know what I'm doing. There you go. This is Magician, and then London, and that's my, like, 1990. That's obviously my age, my date. In here says more than meets the eye.
Nice.
That's kind of my slogan, because I always thought of, there's always, from everyone, there's more things to know about each other than what you see.
Yeah.
So that's kind of obviously as well for me for like the dance. And every time I say that, oh yeah, I'm a magician, like I do magic as a profession, they might not click. So do you know what I mean? Like if there's more than what you see in the other person. And the flower, just because I love that type of, I don't know in English, but it's a clavel. It's kind
Looks
of
like a carnation. It's like a carnation, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I put it in pink just because I like the pink, but it's more of like the Spanish symbol. It should be a red one, but
Okay.
I
I
like
dig
it.
it. I kind of
And I
feel
have
like
the
a
diamond.
Japanese feel. Like I feel
Yeah.
like
I like. Yeah, that's
like
the inspiration
Japanese
that I got
streetwear.
from. Yeah, so I think no, I think it's Chinese. I don't remember now, but like I think it's Chinese, and my friend told me that she's Chinese, and she
Uh-oh.
told me how to translate it. No. Is one is like movement, the other one is magic, but it's no kind of magic. It says just magic, and the other one is sleight of hand. No, with magic and then sleight of hand.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of what I wanted to have it in Chinese, just because I got inspired by the other T-shirt and I liked it. And I have here a diamond
That's
because
cool.
I love the Queen of Diamonds. That's why. So it's something
Nice.
more just to identify myself with a diamond in there. So that's why I started to do these T-shirts, and because I wanted to give it to people and to have to give it to someone that it wouldn't be a magician as well, but it's still a magic T-shirt,
Right. Now
It
that's
can
on the
be-
back of that one.
Yeah, that's another T-shirt. That's how it started, and this is not a magic T-shirt or anything like that. That's just normal. This is the back, and the front has nothing in it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it plain in there, and all oversized, unisex, so everyone can wear it. There is no, I mean, I wear it oversized. They are not oversized, but I kind of wanted to make it baggy for everyone to wear.
It's not one size fits all.
Huh?
One size fits all.
Exactly. Yeah, kind of. So that's why, and I think because of this and the lemon T-shirt, it came the effect.
Now, are you able to show us the effect, or
You put me into a spot? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
you don't have to. You don't have to. I don't know. It's just if you want to.
Yeah, I think I can. Let me see.
I'll blow you up on the screen so it looks bigger.
Oh, shit. No pressure now.
There you go.
It's so cool.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I want you to imagine a deck of cards. I've got a deck of cards here, and we have pictures and numbers. Which one would you like me to take out?
Pictures.
Pictures. And in pictures, we have jacks, we have queens, and we have kings. Which one?
King.
And in kings, we have black and we have red. Which one would you like?
Black.
Black. Oh, both of you guys say black straight away. Any reason? Any special reason?
No, sounds like a good one. One choice or the other. So.
Okay, so as you see, I got a card right here in my mouth, right? So I want to show you. Look.
Nice.
And
all right.
You say a king and a black, but you didn't say either spades or clubs.
Mm.
Which one?
Ooh, spades.
Are you sure? Are you doing it because of Xavier or what?
No,
that's Steve's card of choice. Yeah.
my card of choice is King of Spades.
King of spades.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
What? That's awesome.
And it's gotten from the shirt. I love that. That's so sick. That's really cool.
Dang, that's cool.
Put you nervous.
Oh, you
that was awesome. Don't be nervous.
Now,
so cool.
when will people be able to get that?
So it'll be, I think that's when the pandemic finished, more or less. Not finished, but like when the kind of measurements start opening a little bit. Just because I've got a trailer ready a while ago because I wanted to put it out there. Just because obviously I don't want anyone to be like, oh, I've got the same idea, and like I wanted to have it on Instagram and people to see it, and also just to kind of see. Sorry, the movie.
I feel like I'm watching the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I just wanted to see as well, like the response of people
Mm.
before I throw in myself into everything. I'm like, let me see if this works. Let me see if people will like this kind of idea. And some people as well say like, oh, we want different designs. But I'm like, at the moment, I believe as many options you give, it'll be more difficult for me because obviously I can, like, I'd rather to do one design. And if
Yeah.
that goes well, I'll be like, okay, so
Yeah,
let
then
me just play
expand
with
it.
something different. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll say, for example, summer, maybe.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I just need some money.
Yeah, no, for
But
sure.
that's the only thing because it's just a production thing. It will have obviously some cost, so I just have to have that in mind. But I have everything ready now, and also I just wanted to film it with people outside, like you can perform it outside as well.
Mm.
So I move a lot, so the things moving. So because obviously you can perform it in Zoom, so I adapted it for Zoom. Obviously Zoom is easier
Yeah.
and on video is better, but you can actually perform this live and like it's fine. So and it's pre-selection and you can do it with a signed card, like however you want to. Like obviously it's a production from the t-shirt, so
That's
that's
really
why.
cool.
And the reason why I chose this design is because I believe it's more unisex, like anyone can wear it.
Yeah. It's hip.
No, it's really cool. I like it. I dig it a lot.
Sorry, he needs to pee. Bless him, because he needs to go to bed, right? Well, I
Yeah,
think
no,
maybe
that's
we can close the door. I can close the door so he. Maybe I'm shouting a lot, right? Sorry.
no, you're good.
That's the fun of a
Okay, so
live show. We get the behind the scenes. So
I know. Yeah, so that's why I think like I love it and I'm very proud of it. And because I was even thinking if I should release like as a download any of my effects, like the Adidas one that I posted on Instagram. But I just wanted to keep it for myself at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, there's a right
Like,
time for everything, right?
yeah, like I think because I believe it'll be worth it to whenever I have more stuff to release, because this one is one piece, so I can already start working on like filming the stuff and everything,
Right.
because all the gimmicks in that I have, I can produce it whenever I want to. So like everything is sorted. I just have to produce it. And yeah, and also like I need some help with, because I want all the packaging and everything, and I'm pretty lost in that. So I think both knows some stuff. Maybe Spade knows about
Yeah,
that as
maybe
well.
it might know someone.
Maybe.
possibly, yeah, he may. Oh, God.
Yeah, I just need to make it happen. But at the moment, no. But it's good that people likes it, and that's what it gets me motivated. I'm like, oh yeah, then yes, I should release it.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's cool looking. It's urban. It's super cool, and that's definitely gonna appeal to more people. Because like you said,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff is tacky. To have something that's cool, and I mean, I would definitely see that at Urban Outfitters. That's
Yeah.
something that you would see on their t-shirt table. So yeah, you totally crushed it.
yeah, like I mean, obviously, sometimes I guess it's hard to do like when you do watches or when you do wallets or when you do something that you're gonna wear is more difficult because obviously any like people's styles are different, right? I just try to kind of stay true to me, to my vibe, and whoever feels identified and likes it, I mean, oh, sick, cool, wear it. Because I guess once it's released, you obviously can make it yourself too, but it's more money to make a t-shirt, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no doubt, no
But
doubt.
yeah.
Especially because you don't know how many to print and everything. There's so much that goes into it. It's a lot. It's
I
a lot.
struggle a lot because I didn't know all the formats that you have to do. Like, for example, this is not as fine that I wanted to do, but I think it actually helps. I think it's better like that. Like I wanted more detail because if you see the picture is perfect, but this is a bit more like quite maybe used. So I'm like, ooh, that actually works. So I think I'm not gonna think more about it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So I think it actually looks cool. Because at the beginning I was not happy about it. I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. But when I kind of got into it, and I'm like, okay, I think like is something that I could maybe work on with.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah, pretty happy about it.
distressed look is definitely popular and it's in fashion.
Well,
Like the distressed look, like the worn kind of faded. That's kind of in right now, or it's been.
and also as well because I'm like something that it can relate to magicians, which is like the smoke in the mouth, in the lips,
Yeah.
and the card in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So like card to mouth, but it's in here. Because you can also play because like with different routines. Card to mouth, but I know it's not in this mouth; it's in here. Obviously, I mean, I guess it needs to be a girl or no, whoever. But like, you can play more around. Like I was thinking to produce some smoke from my hands as well at the same time as you produce the card. Like you got so many options that you can do. So that's why I like the idea of doing it with this design as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely, that's the cool thing about creating something and other people seeing it.
I love Space. He's so good. Oh my god, I love it. So good.
Oh, Spade.
I should have done it with your mouth, Spade.
Oh yeah, his creepy old like Spade.
That's super zoomed in, yeah. Just with the card hanging out of it. I love
I'll
it.
send you a picture.
Oh, God.
That's funny. That's great. I think it's super cool. And and you come out, like you said, with one design, and then after that you come out with another one, kind of like a clothing line. You could do kind of iterations of it.
Because I guess it'll be like an upgrade. So yeah. I mean, I guess if someone doesn't like the design, you don't have to buy it or whatever. I don't know. Like I need to think of the logistics of like, do you need a t-shirt or do you need just a download? But I believe I want everything together. Like if you want it, you have to get a tee.
Yeah.
I think the t-shirt is a good brand. Yeah. The t-shirt seems like a clever idea because it really ties it all together and it gives you like, again, the nice thing about it is you get a download. There's only one thing you can do with it. You get a shirt and a download. You could wear the shirt with just for fun, like that's the nice thing about it. You're getting clothing out of it. So I like that idea.
Yeah, that's why as well. Like you get the t-shirt like that. You can wear it like that. And if you want to perform it, you get ready. Boom, good to go.
Yeah, I feel like giving someone the t-shirt with it kind of keeps it present in their mind. I don't know about you, but I mean, how many downloads do you have? You get a download, you look at it, you look at the trick, and you're able to do it, and you maybe do it for like a month, and then after that, it's like in the back of your mind, But if you're going through your wardrobe and you see the shirt all the time, you're like, oh yeah, I have this. I think once you have 50 downloads, it just becomes like a library that some of them you forget about, some of them you don't care about anymore. But at least if you have a product that you can wear all the time, it definitely will add more fun.
Yeah, it's true, and it's called femme.
Yeah.
The trick, it will be called femme.
Oh,
nice.
femme.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, here, femme.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I like it.
I didn't even notice that at first. That's cool.
Like that's why, like, I didn't want to, because I was like, should I put it like bright red? I'm like, nah, tacky.
Definitely make it subtle. Subtle's nice. Yeah.
I'm like, subtle is better because, So, I wanted to keep it femme. I mean, I didn't have like a name for it. So I'm like, just let's go femme because I wanted to look like if it was a movie, like a movie poster or movie cover. So I'm like, ooh, femme, that could look cool.
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
I'm like, I'm like, card to mouth and a t-shirt.
And a movie poster.
Like Hannah always makes a joke of the names of the tricks. They always like card to pocket, card to head to ear to pocket.
I love it.
So true.
It's true.
I feel like this is a question. Yeah, I feel like you also. I mean, I think a lot of times too, you have to have that like built-in spectator to some extent, right? Like, like she's your. Does she get to be like your test guinea pig for everything though? Like your test person? Does she get? And I feel like Steve always asks too. Like I know he's mentioned in the past when he like practices things with Leslie, she gets fed up with him, or she's just like, okay, whatever.
No,
Like,
she's like, I know how you did it. I see the card in your hand. I'm like, you don't see it, you know how I do it. Like,
Yeah.
she's like a heckler.
oh, okay.
Exactly. It's the same thing. And I'm like, that's when I say, I'm like, no, you have to watch it through magician's eyes now. I mean, she does now, but it's true. She was like, oh, but I can see this, but you're doing this. I'm like, yeah, but people wouldn't know. They wouldn't be looking at that already.
Yeah.
I'm like, they don't know that's gonna happen, but you already know my moves, so it's very difficult to kind of fool her now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for some reason, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something different that she doesn't know. Yeah. Sometimes I get her, and I'm like, maybe I'm gonna keep that for myself. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not called Fool Us, it's called Fool Hannah.
There you go.
That's true.
That's good though. That's good though. You know, the more she gets involved with it, the more it challenges you to take it to the next level, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
It does challenge. I mean, she now can see it to other magicians.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, no? I'll be like, did you see anything? Okay. I'm like, if she thinks it's good, I'll be like, okay. Then she like, I think it's good then. Because some tricks I'll be like, oh my God, that's amazing. She's like, no, I don't think it is. Because it's good to see as well other opinions from like muggles, as we like to call it.
I love it.
You know, so it's like, and also she watches in a different way, like more artistically way as well, and if it's entertaining or no. For example, I'm very bad of a talker, like I speak really bad, even in Spanish, as you can see. I struggle.
You speak better
Yeah, I
English
think
than a lot of people that speak English.
you know, you speak very well. So
the thing is, like, I struggle to make my point across. So I'm working on that. It's okay.
a lot of people have that problem.
A
lot of people have that problem. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's why maybe, for example, on my social media, I don't show myself as much talking. It's everything through like magic and dance, which is cool. But I would love to talk more. Like that's why I'm pushing myself to talk more. So then this is good. So that's why like she can kind of tell me what works better or like ideas that maybe like, oh, maybe you could do it this way because it seems more natural or not. Because sometimes I kind of maybe fall into the same magician's way of saying things,
Right.
of performing. Hey, would you like to pick a card or whatever, you know? But that's why it's always good to have her. And also, she's very creative. Like she's amazing. She's everything. She's my producer, my director, my manicurist, my makeup artist, my photographer. So she's literally doing everything for me. But it's
Nice.
good because she sees everything I want, like my vision. She sees it perfect, and she knows how I want it. It's very difficult to find someone like that.
Yeah.
As like before, when we said like it's difficult to find or to explain your vision to a designer, right?
Yeah.
So, but like, for example, this video that we were filming, I just edit the artistic one. She already knew the way that I wanted it to look. So I was like, oh, that just made it so easy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very happy about it. I'm like, very handy to have someone like
No doubt.
She's a keeper.
Plus, you have a cute puppy together, so there you go.
Yeah.
She's watching after also while you're on the show. So,
Exactly.
oh man,
I mean, she's in the bedroom now. I'm trying to speak quiet, yes, for the dog, but I think she's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably passed out on the floor somewhere. So,
hopefully, yeah, bless him.
yeah, it's too cute. Honestly,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So he likes his crate, like he'll go in there himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's why. Like, no, we've been so like that with him. Like, at the beginning, we didn't want him to bring him to the sofa just in case he gets very comfortable in the sofa.
Nice.
So like, I know it's been very good. Yeah, like from the very beginning, we introduced the crate. So we were like, oh, look, a lot of treaties. Like we did all the training with the crate, and I think he was crate training as well when he was on the breeder's house, so that helped. So no,
Nice.
he loves it. He loves it. I get worried sometimes when he sleeps around. I'm like, shall I put him in the crate? I put him in the crate sometimes. Sometimes he sleeps in there. Sometimes he goes out. But I think now he's just feeling comfortable in there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good though. It's good
pretty
though.
Right on.
And he's not going to get much bigger size wise, right?
I think he will, because he's a Maltese and a toy poodle breed.
So
So it's a mixed breed.
yeah,
So
pretty small.
yeah, it wouldn't get as bigger than a Maltese.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
that's
cute.
why, like, a small dog in a flat, and it's
Nice.
easy.
Probably the smart move. Yeah, in a small space, you don't want to have like a Great Dane or something.
Some people do it.
I've seen on TikTok. Fucking
Yeah.
love it.
People are crazy. Some people do that stuff, and they like have big pit bulls in these tiny little houses, and it's like, come on now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, as long as they get the exercise done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot more. It's a lot more
I know.
responsibility on you. Yeah, to be walking them all the time.
I know. That's why, like, we don't have as much time. But, like, these dogs doesn't need as much exercise. They're pretty happy to be at home.
Yeah.
So it's cool. That doesn't mean that we're not gonna give him the exercise that they need, but like, it's obviously it's good to know what you're getting,
Yeah.
so you don't
Absolutely.
get surprised or whatever. But like, I'm used to having big dogs, which I have one. I don't know if it's called Mastin Leoness, which is a big mountain dog, like a sheepdog, but huge, like as big as like a San Bernard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe more or less. So I'm used to big dogs. So
Okay.
now I'm like, oh, this is little one. I don't know how to take it.
I mean, any size dog is adorable, so that makes sense. You know, big or small. The big dogs just can knock you down a lot easier. I guess that's about about the extent of it. I feel like most dogs, like size wise, have that same like core energy. You know, they want to play, they want to run. They're just, yeah, they're fun.
They all think they're tiny dogs, though.
Yeah. Well, they say that too when you're training, especially if you get a dog that grows big, is you need to train them to do what you want them to do forever. Like, don't go on the couch or don't go on the bed, because they don't understand as their body grows in size. I don't know whether that's true or not. It's something I read at some point in time, but like, yeah, like that's why if you get like a big dog, like I said, like a Saint Bernard or something, and as a puppy, you always have it on your lap. As it grows, it's going to want to still sit on your lap all the time, because it doesn't realize, like, hey, I went from weighing 20 pounds to 200 pounds.
Yeah, but I believe as well. Sorry, I'm full of training dogs now. So we've been like listening podcasts of everything, but then if you always have it in the lab, but if he knows that to sleep is his crate and you make it nice, and if you know how to train him, it's okay for you to, as long as it's okay for you to stay on his lap.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, because some people, that's what the people were saying, like, it's okay for the dog to be in the sofa as long as it's okay for you, you know.
Yeah.
So like, let him to be in the sofa if you want to, but also, like, I don't know, if you're gonna expect people that he knows as well that his place can be the crate.
Yeah.
So I mean, crate training helps just because they have their own space, and that's why. And it's not the whole house. It's something secure for them, and they love it. That's why.
Yeah.
It became like a dog training session.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually trained dogs for like 4 years, so it's it's a lot of work.
I mean, I love it. I think we love it, and like, because we've been so serious about it, and there is so much about it. And now that we've seen people in social media sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, I think you're doing this right. But it's a little bit like babies as well. Like, everyone kind of train them in their own ways, you know what I mean?
Most people don't train dogs, though. They basically teach them to go the bathroom outside, and that's their way of training.
And that's it.
And that's it. You know, like, it's ridiculous. And normally the little dogs are the ones that aren't trained. The bigger dogs are the ones that are just, you know, trained better and behave better.
Because it can be a problem when they're an adult. That's why.
Yeah, it's just, it's
well, and again, though, you know, a 5-year-old Maltese toy poodle isn't going to do as much damage to you as a person as a Great Dane when they are misbehaving. So it makes a lot of sense, but he is adorable either way. So
he knows everything. He knows how to spin 3 times. He knows how to do paw, everything. He knows how to, like, shake the hands like that.
Nice.
He knows Spanish as well. He knows how to go middle. Listen, he's like a circus puppy right now.
That's funny. That's too funny.
You're gonna have to put him in your act soon.
Yeah, like I've been doing so much with him.
And then you can go on AGT and be one of those silly dog performers that win for some.
No, thank you, no.
How the hell do they win? How do they win?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of those shows anyway, but
Yeah, crazy.
I know
Anyway.
what I go into.
What were you gonna say, Tyler?
I got distracted by Xavier in the chat. I don't remember what I was gonna say because, yeah, X. It's just how Spade does down there. But yeah, while we're on it, does anyone in the chat have any questions before we kind of wind things down a little bit? We're also gonna, for anyone who's on, we're actually gonna try something new tonight for our guest announce. So we'll see if anyone has any questions. We'll go through the ad reel, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to have like a bit of a guessing game as to the guest. This is a work in progress still, so I don't know if we're going to need to in the future show off facts or what, but basically after the ad reel, we're going to have it where the silhouette of the guest will show up and you have 30 seconds to guess who the next guest is. Anyone who guesses correctly will win a copy of Hall Pass, which Steve is holding up right there.
Not anyone who guesses correctly. The first person.
Yeah, the first person who guesses correctly will win Hall Pass. There you go.
We don't have 10 Hall Passes to get.
Yeah.
So.
I personally, I don't think anyone's going to get it. So take that as a challenge if you'd like out there. But this is a work in progress. So when we do get back around to this, any feedback anyone has on it, let us know, because we're always looking to make this a little more fun and exciting to figure out who's going to be next week's guest. So let's see if we got any questions coming in.
Nothing yet.
I know. Right?
That's the sound I do have. Again, too much Jeopardy for one show, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
I realize I like that sound until I play it twice. So
let's go to the ad reel. We'll do the ad reel, and then we'll come back and see if there's any questions. If not, we'll jump into our little contest.
All right. X says he has a question. How do you...
Oh, God.
I don't know if I want to read this out real time because I feel like it's going to trick me into saying something terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, is that just the question? How do you?
We do.
We do well.
Yeah.
Thank you, X.
All right. A word from our sponsor.
Yeah, a word from our sponsor here. Before we even get into it, make sure, guys, to check out Marvelous Decks on Instagram. Follow them. There's going to be some awesome news and a giveaway this weekend. Let's check this out. And look at that. We roll back into a good question from Mark here, which is, for dancing, which OG would you like to learn from?
Ooh. I think I'll say Diana Matos again.
Nice.
Just because, I mean, she's crazy. And she got like many different styles as well. Yeah.
Right on.
That was a quick question.
Yeah, that was quick.
We're like, I don't know what else to say.
That was a good question. Oh, that was good.
Well, and it's interesting too, because I think, obviously you being into dance, Steve and I are not familiar with the dance world. Well, Steve's probably more familiar with the dance world than I am. I by no means am familiar with choreography or dance at all, other than the fact that I did like dance in elementary school, which whatever, but like, I won't even get into that.
Dude,
That was
a recital.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Christmas recital and stuff. Like, so by no means am I qualified to talk about dance, but no, I think it's amazing. Really, I keep seeing. Also, I apologize for the distraction there. I just saw X's question in the chat as well, so I'm gonna ignore the chat for now. But I think the way you kind of bring that creativity into both mediums is just absolutely phenomenal. I know everyone in the chat tonight has really enjoyed the discussion around magic and about dance as well. Mark actually also just asked, what's your favorite song to dance to?
I'm sorry. I'm just reading space sometimes. I'm like,
Get a grip, you two. Come on.
This is why the chat is dangerous, but oh so delightful. Listen, you bring up Mario Lopez, I'm gonna see it.
My favorite song, I mean, favorite song, I can maybe say like I love to dance to house music because like to dance house. I love it. It makes me very happy. And I love to listen to Spanish music, like to Latin music.
Mm.
But I love to dance to hip hop music and like more yeah, like Cardi B maybe, or a bit more commercial, but yeah, more hip hop.
I think hip hop's the most fun to watch.
Yeah, I
For
think.
sure. It's
Yeah.
so energetic and it's just really
And you
fun.
got more beats to play with and everything, so
Yeah, and just so like so much more
you feel like
creative.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I love, for example, Rihanna is my favorite one.
Nice.
Even if she hasn't created much music lately, but she, for me, she's like, I'm like, yes, Rihanna.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's
That's
so
cool.
awesome. All right,
right.
guys.
Shall
We're gonna try this here. I gotta remember to click the right one. Also, let us know in the chat too if you think this is too long, too short to guess. Let us know in the future. Also, if you think we need to throw up like some facts or something to help out, give us a shot here. But let's see what we got here. You guys are gonna have 30 seconds to guess next week's guest solely from the silhouette. Drop it in the chat if you figure it out.
First Does anybody know? Can you guess?
See, I was like back and forth on like, man, I think I need to put like some facts in it, but we'll see. With 10 seconds left, anyone have a guess?
We'll have to give them a couple because of the delay, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'd shit a brick if someone got it right.
So next week,
I don't know why there's clapping because nobody got it right.
just because of the announcement. But
Right.
so yeah, so this is definitely a work in progress. But I was close. Zach Morris, Shin Lim. We got some interesting guesses too, but none of them were correct. Curly hair was probably the closest guess there, Spade.
Anyway, we have Lorenzo from
From
Stockholm
Stockholm 17,
17.
yeah. So it should be. It's been a while since we've had a designer on the show. I was saying this to Steve the other day, so we're really excited to have Lorenzo on. He actually had some really fun decks come out in 2020. We're excited to talk to him about what he's going to have in 2021. It should be a real exciting time. So,
Heck yeah.
Sonia, thank you so much for coming on. We had an absolute blast. Thank you to Hannah for letting us bar you for the evening, and to Osa, who was an absolute delight and so well behaved. So we appreciate that as well. But we're always so excited to see what you do within the community and what you have upcoming, but also everything you've done up until now. For anyone who hasn't checked out Sonia yet, make sure to check out her Instagram. We will be dropping that down below. And yeah, we're really excited to see what you come out with this year. We're looking forward to getting to you releasing Femme. So we're gonna keep on top of you for that one.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And thank you everyone out in the audience tonight. We really do appreciate you coming out. Guys, see you next week. That's going to be another one at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in. Thank you so much.
Peace out.